Hello, hello everybody. I'm trying to train myself not to be peering into the screen when the video actually starts. But I fear I probably missed that opportunity this morning. I think I was probably peering. Anyway, it's all right. It's all okay, isn't it? So I'm wondering what your week's been like. And those of you who watched last Saturday's live, I'm wondering how you were able to make a difference to your week from using the Instant Calm tool that I gave you at the end of that video. Let me know how it made a difference to you, because it's really important for us all to understand that although I'm here in the capacity of a helper, a professional helper, it's you that has to do the doing. It is, in the end, it will be you who makes the changes in your life, who makes the changes in your life experience. And I've been thinking about that, so that the understandings that I share with you and the tools I give you, I was tempted to say initially that that these will help you control. That last week I gave you a tool to control your mood. As I've thought of this during the week, I've begun to see that control is really not a useful thing. It's got a bad rep for a start of. Nobody likes to think of being controlling. And it does put us in mind of, it puts us in mind of being a bit rigid. Control is a bit rigid. And so I was looking for the truth of it. What is the truth of it? Because it's similar to that, but not quite the same. And what I'm giving you in this foundational course are tools to help you govern. If you think about the word governing captures the reality of it far better, because you cannot control. There are some things we cannot control, but we can govern. Governing brings into the mix variability. Things going wrong at the last minute. Yes, if you are governing a situation, if you are in a position of government, not political government, but if you're in a community position of government, you have to work with what you've got, hey? That's what you have to do. And this is what we have to do in our lives. So last week, the tool I gave you was to help you govern your mood. And I really hope you're using it to do that. If you're not, if you haven't used it, if you've not watched right to the end of that video and taken on that skill, then what else is going to change? What else is going to change your mood? If you leave it to what's the word I'm looking at? If you just leave it as potluck, then really nothing else will change. It's foundational that you can control, you can govern your mood. Okay, so that was the first pillar of moving towards living a life of confidence and joy. Being able to govern your mood. The second pillar, there are 4 pillars. The second pillar today is being able to govern your thoughts. Now, I know all of these sound like a tall order, but when we have a different understanding and we have an actual tool to use, then it becomes perfectly doable. First thing I want to point out to you is it's probable that you've been going along believing that it's your circumstances that create your feelings. If your circumstances are good, then it's easy to feel good. If your circumstances are favourable, it's easy to feel happy and relaxed and that everything's going well. It's easy to feel good about yourself. If your circumstances are not favourable, if they're difficult and challenging, if they're even dreadful, then it seems common sense that you will feel bad. You'll feel bad. You will not feel powerful. You will not feel favoured. There's something else. It's not true, actually. I'm here to tell you it's not true. And this is why, if we're not dealing in truth, which we'll speak about next week more, if we're not dealing in truth, then we're not really dealing with the real problem. We're dealing with a problem that's not the problem. So if it's not the problem that your circumstances are causing your causing your feelings, then we need to know what is causing your feelings, and there is something else in that equation. So here's circumstances, here's feelings. In between are your thoughts. This is not a new idea. You will have heard this before. You'll have heard it put in different ways, that it's not your circumstances, it's your response to your circumstances. That's slightly different. I want you to see today that it is simpler than that. It's the whole, oh yes, well, how do I respond any different? If I could respond any differently, I blinking would have done. I haven't myself found that really useful. What I have found useful is when someone said to me, it goes like this: circumstances, thoughts, feelings. Because now we can do something about thoughts. You may feel you may never have been able to do anything about thoughts before. It may be just as bad as responses. But today there is a tool, an amazing tool for controlling your thoughts that go around your head. Because your thoughts, they're in your head. Those voices, those thoughts, those ideas that trundle around your head can be governed. Today, it's not included in the video. Today, that tool, which is a very powerful tool, that tool is going to be, a link to it is going to be in the first comment of this video. I don't think I can put it there until we're finished. But once I've finished and I've posted this, then that link will be there. I cannot encourage you enough to find the time, be firm and find the time to go and use that teaching. It is an extremely powerful teaching. So, it's called managing, which is another word for governing, isn't it? Managing the monsters in your head. What it will do for you is two things. It's going to work in two ways. It will show you what's really going on. It's not what you think. It will show you what's really going on inside your head, and it will show you how to take your thoughts out of that equation. So you've got, remember the equation, circumstances, which may be outside your control, in this moment anyway, circumstances, thoughts, feelings. Managing the monsters in your head, governing your thoughts, takes thoughts out of that equation, leaving you able to govern your feelings, able to manage and set up different feelings. We all still, it's not that these things will disappear from your life as well. And it's not that your thoughts will not, unhelpful thoughts will stop suddenly from appearing. They will reduce. when you've used this tool. They will reduce, I can assure you of that. But life goes on, and we are human, and we will continue to be, to act and respond like humans. What the difference is that if you choose to continue to use this ability, what will happen is it will impact you less, and immediately you can deal with it. When you find these thoughts in your head, you will know what to do. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. It's one of my favourite things, is managing the monsters in your head. So now, by all means, share the link, share it with your friends, tell them about the videos, the Saturday live videos, because if you're not going to do anything, if your friends are not going to do anything, if you're not going to take hold of the tools that I'm giving you and use them, then by the end of the other two weeks, by the end of 4 weeks in total, what will be different? Nothing will be different. Nothing whatsoever. So it's really important to take action, and part of that action is share it with other people so that they can take action. Who are we to decide that they're not going to do it or they won't be interested? Who are we? So anyone you know that is not living a life of confidence and joy, share that link. You have my permission to share the link, share the video, share the whole video. To finish off today, it's not such a long video today. I know you are busy. I know genuinely you are busy. I just want to encourage you to feel that you have enough resources to make this change, to make the change from doing nothing, not knowing of what to do and doing nothing, to being proactive and effective. And so I was thinking of that game, Top Trumps. You know the game Top Trumps, and now there are 1 million of these packs. And so the one I was thinking about, which I was playing with my young grandson the other day, is the Harry Potter set. So you know how it goes. You've got certain attributes, qualities, and they're listed and they're given a score. And then you the one you've got beats your opponents, or the other way round. So I was thinking about Hermione Granger's one. So this is what she's got. Actually, I need to find where I jotted these down. So Hermione Granger, the categories are as follows. Magic, she has a score of 60 for magic. Cunning, for that she has a score of 18. Courage, her score is 38. These are all out of 100. Wisdom, 70. And temper, which is better if it's low, of course, temper is 2. So first thing you'll notice that I imagine is that Hermione Granger, she's a very powerful, resourceful character if you know anything at all about the Harry Potter books and films. You know that she is extremely powerful. No way would you say she's weak and everything's going to be outside her control. Not at all. But do you notice that among those attributes, none of them are 100, none of them are even 90, and some of them are, fairly low. Her cunning is fairly low at 18. Temper, yes, she's got some. It's not 0. Courage, 38. It's below half. So now let's look at what might be your top trump card. We're not looking at magic and cunning and so on. These are the things that I want you to consider for your own top trump card. Patience, courage, power to act, and confidence. I thought these were the ones that we would be interested in this 4 pillars course. So patience, You might well, for any of these, you may well say, it's common to say, isn't it? I haven't got any patience. I've got no patience. Well, so you might say, well, mine's going to be 0. Well, let's look at that. And I'd like you to consider it, and consider it over the next few days. If you had no patience, then none, then whenever you put something in the oven to cook, you've got no patience. You're not going to be able to wait, are you? So are you truly opening the oven door every, 10 seconds, 30 seconds to see if it's done? I doubt it very much. I doubt it very much. You might be looking at your watch a few times before it's done, but that would not count as 0, would it? There's going to be a bit of a score there. Courage. The important thing about courage that I want you to know is, and I've learnt this from my sister. My sister is a professional in the field of courage. My sister, for most of her adult working life, has been and still is a professional stunt performer. And she's now also a stunt coordinator. So she knows about courage. And this is what she says. People often say to her, oh, you must be fearless. The things you do, you must be fearless. She says, no, I'm not fearless. In some of the things I do, I feel fear. I am afraid. Where the courage comes in is I do it anyway. That's courage. Courage is not being fearless. Courage is doing it in the face of fear, in the face of anxiety, in the face of worry, in the face of feeling powerless, doing it anyway. Now, probably everybody listening to this has been to the dentist. And you might not be petrified of the dentist. I'm not petrified of the dentist, but I'm none too happy about needing to go. If you've ever sat in a dentist's chair, then you have some courage. You've used your courage to get there because you've been a bit concerned, you've been a bit anxious maybe, been thinking, oh, it's not really the way I want to spend today because it's not fun. Then there's your courage. Power. If we are living a functional life, and I'm not aware of anyone that might be listening to this, any one of you that I know that are in the messenger group, none of you are living a dysfunctional life. You are managing life. If you have children, so therefore you're exhibiting some power, you are using some power, you've got some, and sometimes you're using it. If you're a parent, even if your children are grown up now, you will remember, if you could ever get your child to eat their meals, brush their teeth, ever, not every time, ever, and go to bed, then you were using power at that time. So your power score is not 0 or 1 either. And finally, confidence. Now, confidence, it's interesting what confidence is. The definition of confidence is being able to, feeling you can rely on someone or something. And so when we're talking about confidence in top trumps, in fact, what we're talking of is self-confidence, isn't it? That's the important thing. And as we look at confidence, living a life of confidence, the key part of that confidence is self-confidence. So that means, do you feel you can rely on yourself? You may still say, some of you may still say, no, well, no, I can't. So then, if you are able in your life to put a meal on the table, most times, to run your home, to get the laundry done, to keep up with, to whatever degree, to keep up with the garden, then you can rely on yourself. You are relying, your family are relying on you to do those things. Therefore, confidence is not 0 either. You could play further with this. It's not an exercise that I'm giving you, just a suggestion. Any attribute that you may feel you're short on, just ponder as you go through this coming week. Just ponder on it. Notice what you are using. All of these things, my point here is, all of these things and more you do have. They have been installed. Unless you've got a diagnosis of psychopathy, in which case compassion may not have been installed. Unless you have any other neurological diagnosis, then the whole hand of cards of attributes that you need to live life confidently and joyfully, they have been installed. And all that remains is for you to understand that and use ways of accessing those attributes. So I think I'm finished today. As always, if there's anything you don't understand, if there's anything, I don't know if I said this, if there's anything you disagree with me on, if you think some of this does not apply to you, or actually you just think I'm mistaken, let's talk about that. Get in touch. Get in touch rather than just bin it and think, well, she doesn't know what she's doing. Let's get in touch. Let me help you to reach that understanding. Or maybe you will be able to teach me something that I have not understood about the lives of people who are looking for a life, who are hoping for a life of confidence and hope and joy. Don't give up. The main thing is do not give up. Do not give up looking for and working towards living a life of confidence and joy, not just okayness. Let's go for joy. Okay. Have a great week, everybody. And I'm peering again because I've got no glasses on. So have a great week and keep in touch.